Work continues to move forward on a new regional landfill. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the Gering City Council this week approved paying Tri-Hydro Corporation for updated airspace and cost estimates for the proposed regional landfill, but not without some discussion of potential alternatives. City engineer Annie Folk explained the need to expend just under $5,000 for the update.
They modeled this a couple years ago, but their 2022 dollars, a lot has changed and prices are pretty volatile right now, so we're asking them to look at those numbers. The other thing we're asking them to do is to look at two different scenarios. One is what they've already looked at, which would be if Scottsbluff and Gering jointly were to do the landfill. The other thing we're asking them to look into is if Gering were to do it as only the city of Gering.
She said one drawback to the combined effort with Scottsbluff is that they could not use USDA funding to help pay for their portion. Councilmember Ben Backus sought to table the purchase, asking for staff to instead get estimates from outside trash service providers, but Mayor Kent Ewing said he believed that route had significant drawbacks.
This is somewhat like our utility electrical grid. Long-term, this next site could be over 200 years, which is a money-generating site for long-term also, because we're going to have to continue with a landfill somewhere or the actual removal of our trash for years.
Ewing said turning over trash collection to a third party would lead to a loss of local control over many related issues, not the least of which was the cost to the city and its residents. Councilmember Michael Gillen did recommend that staff gather information on alternative disposal costs in the meantime to help the council when the final decision on building a new landfill comes in the next few years. Well, two locals have been charged in connection to a September assault at Scottsbluff. 20-year-old Anibal Domingo and 18-year-old Yesenia Domingo are both facing a Class 2 felony first-degree assault charge. Court documents say they, along with Amanda Poirier and an unidentified man, teamed up and assaulted a Scottsbluff man in a parking lot. The victim suffered a collapsed lung, head injury, and hematomas and was hospitalized for 3 days. Warrants for both Domingos were served last week, and they're scheduled to be back in court on February 27th for their respective preliminary hearings. Poirier pleaded no contest to a charge of attempted third-degree assault, and on Thursday was sentenced to 30 days in jail.
The journey of a dream becoming reality. When we're young, a dream develops into a passion. That passion continues to manifest and grows as you do. It becomes all you want to do and all you want to be. It gives you direction. It drives you. Then your dream has become a reality. When that dream is ready to be reality, Platte Valley Bank will be with you every step of the way.
Welcome back. Law enforcement agencies from across the region are mourning the death of a Wyoming police officer. Sergeant Nevada Krinke died at a hospital after being shot Tuesday in downtown Sheridan while serving a trespass warning. The male shooter barricaded himself in a home a few blocks away after the shooting. Krinke was a 6-year veteran of the Sheridan Police Department. Well, an amended bill that would tighten and add some regulations to Nebraska's skill games industry has cleared the first round of consideration in the legislature. Among other provisions, LB 685 would place a 5% tax on the net revenues coming from the games that are found in bars, gas stations, and other locations across the state. Senator John Lowe of Kearney also noted that locations with such games could generate no more than 40% of their gross revenue from the machines.
This was added because we are now seeing skill games set up as de facto casinos across the state, where the only thing occurring at that location is skill games. No other revenue is being generated. This language would allow bars, restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, and others to continue to operate the games they have at their locations while cracking down on the locations with no other business generating revenue.
The other amended portion of the measure would place regulations on the location and display of co-branded alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, which would be dependent, among other things, on the size of the retail establishment. The amended bill ultimately gained 31 votes with 0 opposition to advance from general file. And nearly 130 high school musicians gathered at Chadron State College last week for the 52nd High Plains Band and Choir Festival. Following rehearsals and workshops on Monday and Tuesday, the band and choir presented a public concert Tuesday evening. The honor band guest conductor was Dr. Frank Trax, a professor of music and director of bands at Kansas State University. Students who have attended the festival for 3 or 4 years were also honored with certificates.
It takes a community to keep our waters clean. Please don't let pollutants be swept and carried away into our storm drains. This can cause problems like clogged storm sewers and contaminating the area's rivers, lakes, and ponds. Non-point source pollutants are not from one source or property, but instead from many sources and properties, which can impair our waterways. Even one piece of trash can add up. Tri-City Stormwater wants you to remember, it's our water, our responsibility.
This isn't just a beautiful hospital. It's the home to exceptional patient care. This is where specialty clinics meet your needs. This is where a friendly smile, a warm hand, and an empathetic ear exist to care for you. This is us. Box Butte General Hospital. Great things are happening here.
For this week's featured pet of the week, we meet Lieutenant Dan. He's a sweet domestic shorthair who's missing one foot. This 4-year-old cat's been at the Humane Society for a couple weeks now, but is looking for a great adoption home. He loves lapping up milk and other dairy products.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
And for just $60, you can take this sweet man home. His adoption cost includes his microchip, neuter, and all vaccinations. To meet Lieutenant Dan or any of the cats and dogs they have available for adoption, you can head on over to the Panhandle Humane Society daily during normal business hours.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
let's take a look at your midweek community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, based in Alliance, Nebraska, is the only intercity bus serving Nebraska Panhandle communities and Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Panhandle Trails operates a regularly scheduled bus service, assisting you in making connections with Greyhound bus partners, regional airports, healthcare, employment and education opportunities, shopping, family, friends, and more. Panhandle Trails serves the general public of all ages and offers accessible transportation for those with special mobility needs. Let Panhandle Trails help you make your connection. Call 308-761-8747.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, the Next Young Professionals are excited about some major changes to their biggest annual fundraiser. Board President Taylor Ekman told the Scottsville City Council that their Best in the West Beer and Wine Fest will feature breweries from across the region this year, as well as some wineries and distilleries. She says this year's event is planned for June 22nd, which will be several months earlier than the event is traditionally held.
Normally the event is in like September, fall-ish time. We chose to move it to June just to kind of see if maybe the event would have better attendance being earlier versus later in like the summer season, just because it's been a tough few years for everybody and our event as well.
This year's event will also be longer and will feature a cornhole tournament to benefit Life Change Connections, a yoga class, and live music. The Scottsbluff City Council gave unanimous approval for their STL to serve alcohol at the event. More information can be found on the Next Young Professionals Facebook page. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.